Welcome to ISE 2023 in lovely Barcelona, Spain in winter. This is Rich Fregosa, Uncle Richie for AVNation.tv. I was here during the summer. It's a little colder, but fortunately we're here at the show. I'm here at the AtlasIED booth with Dean Standing, who is the International Sales Manager. Dean, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I love Barcelona. It's a great city.
It's fantastic. A little cooler, but you know, if we could always figure a way to get back to May, I think we'd all like it. But January's all right.
Oh, I came out of 10-degree weather and snow, so I'm really glad to be here. It's a lot warmer for me.
Well, there you go. So a couple of things. I was just talking about summer of the show. When the show opened over the summer, we were still coming out of COVID. We weren't quite sure what the reaction was going to be. We're back on schedule now. The show's opened up. We're actually recording on the second day. Give me a little impression of your feelings about the show.
It feels like we turned the clock back 4 or 5 years. I mean, this is full strength. We've got lots of people here. We were busy from the time the show opened till it closed yesterday. So it really feels like we're back to normal. And that's a nice feeling.
Well,
people are just excited to be here too.
It is. Well, we heard that we had the King of Spain walking his way through, so that caused a little bit of a commotion.
Well, I was a little upset he didn't stop by to say hello to me.
Well, I heard he owed you 20, so he was just making his way by, right? One of the questions that I've been asking about the show is obviously, it's a technology show, but when you come into the booth and we meet everybody, we see your titles, but we don't always ever get to find out about the people. The curiosity that I always have is we don't enter this industry by accident all of the times. We wind up here in various ways. How'd you find yourself at Atlas? How'd you wind up here?
Well, it's kind of a little bit of a long path, but I've been in audio my whole career. I loved music. At one point, I couldn't. I was thinking about being either a recording engineer or a forest ranger. This is as a
if they're going to one or the other, right?
And I started working in a hi-fi shop, if people remember what those were, when I was in high school. And I worked there for a number of years, and one of the local sales reps invited me to join his company, and he sold both hi-fi and commercial audio products. And I actually sold as a sales rep a long time ago a brand called Soundelier that then merged with Atlas Sound and then was purchased by Mytech, by the IVE family, and is now AtlasIED.
And as they say, the rest is history,
so
right?
It's interesting that towards the beginning of my career, and now as I'm approaching the end of my career, I'm selling, and working with the same brand.
Well,
and there were other stops in between, but it's really been exciting to see AtlasIED evolve into more of a technology company. The products I sold at the beginning were basically commodity ceiling speakers, basic commercial audio products, and now we've got a lot of high-tech products. So it's been a fun transition.
Well, speaking of high-tech, we've got a lot of high-tech behind us. So for the show, I know Atmosphere is something that is very near and dear to all of you as a company. Let's talk about the new Atmosphere product.
Okay.
What do we've got in front of us?
So Atmosphere has been out for a little less than 2 years now. We targeted the hospitality, kind of the hotels, restaurants. Of course, it's a great market to target right as COVID starts, but the product took off. We hit all the right notes with it, and we're continuing to evolve the platform. We're adding powered versions of the Atmosphere processor. So we now have an 8-channel processor called an AZM P8 and a 4-channel powered processor, an AZM P4, that have amplifiers built in. We developed our own amplifier for these, and it's a 4-channel amplifier module, but what makes it really interesting is it's got full load sharing, and you can go into the software and you can tell it how many watts you want to each channel, and you can tell it what load you're gonna put on it. So you could have one channel that's driving a 4-ohm subwoofer, and the modules are 600 watts total for across 4 channels. So you could assign 400 watts to a subwoofer and the other 200 watts across the other 3 outputs. or you could put all 600 watts to one output if you want. So it's really versatile, really flexible. Again, the 2 versions of that, so the 8-channel version, the 4-channel version, and then we also introduced a paging microphone that gives us the ability to do a full system control, but also your zone paging. So from the paging station, you can launch messages, pre-recorded messages that are stored in the Atmosphere devices, or you can change presets, you can control sources and volume, plus do all your paging functions. So it really helps round out the Ecosphere. And then we're always updating the software and adding new features through software. So even if you have one of the original Atmosphere boxes, obviously you can't update and add amplifiers via software, but it will support the paging station, and any of the new features we've added are fully available in the original units as well.
Fantastic. You do talk about the ecosystem. We've got this wonderful screen behind us with this demo. Just a couple of the little things that are kind of the high points that you can do when you're dealing with the dashboard.
Well, the dashboard just shows you what zones you have set up, what accessories are connected. We do have a bell scheduler built in. It'll let you know what's going on with that. We don't have anything set up there now. We have local storage. It'll tell you how you're doing as far as using the space for messages, what sources and zones are connected, and then it keeps track of the system health, the temperature, is it running too hot, you've got adequate or under voltage. So it gives you in one place a quick and easy read on what's going on. And then you can go through, obviously, the other steps of the software to look in more detail.
Get in as deep under the hood as you want, right?
One of the new features that we added is a self-test feature for the amplified versions, where it'll go through and it will run an impedance sweep on each of the channels, and then you can set min-max levels, tolerances, and you can set an automated system or an automated calendar to test the system once a week, every night, 2 in the morning when the facility's closed, and it will email a report to whoever you've designated, so that if someone puts a staple through a speaker line, you can become aware of it maybe even before the customer complains about it. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Pretty cool stuff. I'm here at the AtlasIED booth, and I'm here with Michael Peebler, who's the VP of Sales for Atlas. Michael, it's good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here. Great to be back.
We were in a little bit of warmer climes last time. I saw you in InfoComm, and we got a chance to talk product. Before I talk product, though,
yeah, sure.
We're in Barcelona.
Yeah.
We're a little bit away. This is the first show that we're kind of back.
Right.
Obviously, being in the international show, what's the field been like for the show for you?
Yeah, it's been great. We've had conversations with resellers from all over the world. We've got a lot of domestic U.S. dealers that have come back to this show to get a chance to really walk and see it. But we've had conversations with folks from Asia Pacific, South America, all over Europe. It's been great. Traffic yesterday was super busy. It was a classic trade show, right? We started at 10 o'clock, and the next time I looked at my watch, it was 2:30 in the afternoon. I'd missed lunch, and we'd gone straight through. So
you're back to the trade show hustle.
Exactly. It's a good day. Good day.
Well, I've got a question for you, and it's been something that has always interested me when I'm at the shows. This is a technology show. We used to coming in, we talk about the product, we go through all of the highs and lows, and we hit the bullet points, but sometimes we forget that we're also companies made up of people and interesting personalities, and we all find our way. Some people find our way in the industry by accident. Some people have a path. My question to you is that I wanted to ask is, how did you wind up at Atlas?
Yeah, so my path's a little unique. So I was a music education major in college. I was actually a junior high and high school band director for 8 years.
Really?
And I decided to make a change. I loved teaching, and I ended up getting into corporate training at a little company that had just gone through a big name change, and that little company was called Panja, which of course 2 years later.
If you're old enough to know who Panja is, you've been at it for a while. Yeah.
Which that was 1999.
Yes.
And 2 years later, we were back to AMX. I spent 17 years there. A couple of years after Harman acquired us, I decided it was time for me to make a change. I went to a small wireless presentation company called WePresent. About a year after that, we got bought by Barco. And I stayed there for about a year and decided it was making a change. And John Ivey, the owner here, gave me a call and asked me to come over. And I was able to come at the same time with Gina Sansevero, rockstar marketing. So how could I turn down the opportunity to work with her and work for a great family-owned business and have an opportunity to really go build something? So it's been 4.5 years almost here, and it's been fantastic. Really amazing.
And see, that's why I asked that question,
Yeah.
because that is an amazing route to be able to make it.
Thanks.
So we're here,
Yeah.
and now I got to talk tech.
Sure.
So we talked IPX over the summer.
Yeah.
There was a lot that, in terms of the ecosystem was really exciting stuff to
Yeah.
see. Just about not only the product itself, but the predictive natures, the ability to give warnings. So if somebody didn't get a chance to, although they should have seen our video from Infocom,
Absolutely.
if somebody didn't see our Infocom video, tell us about IPX.
Yeah, so IPX is our fastest growing product category. It is an IT-based communication platform. So anything that has an IP address, anything that has an API, we have the ability to go and effectively communicate. So we can cover an entire facility, a small city, I mean, literally almost any entity in the event of any kind of communication. So it could be basic announcements in school, it could be bells and PA and just standard communication. We've got cities looking at putting this in for tying into weather warnings and that kind of thing. So we sell the IPX are our IP endpoints, a family of IP endpoints. And we've got about 17 different form factors today. We've got gateways that take your analog infrastructure, all your analog speakers, bring them into IP zones. We've got endpoints that are designed for hallways, so you can see displays on both sides, more up in the ceiling, like 2x2 enclosures. And we've got the new horn, which has been really, really popular. But again, the idea is just to have one effective network-based platform where we can effectively communicate. And it can go to anything. It can go to mobile devices. It can go to computers, tablets, broadcast out Twitter, send out links, set up immediate conference calls. Like, it's anything that you can do over IP today, Zoom, Teams, you name it, we can communicate from it or to it. And those events can be automated, right? So if something triggers it, somebody walks into an area that's supposed to be secured, you get a weather alert that there's severe weather in the area and you want people to take shelter, you get that notification, it automatically does it. You don't have to wait for someone to step in, or they can be actually physically initiated by something like a mobile interface or a button on a Cisco phone or a panic button, whatever the case.
Well, through the wonders of broadcast technology, we're going to do a quick little demo to show something off.
Real quick.
So we're going to go ahead and doodaloo our way through. We're going to do a quick demo.
Absolutely. So in this case, we're going to do a weather warning. We're going to activate it from a Cisco phone. What you're going to see is scrolling text, and you're hear communication through all of our different endpoints. So
a severe weather warning is in effect. Please stay in your present location, remain calm, and await further instructions.
So what you see is we really integrated audio and video, all right? 8-inch coax speaker, just a standard, very articulate speaker tied in with all of what we're just doing over the network. So once we hit the IP endpoint, then we're, the IP address, then we're just functioning like a traditional speaker with inputs and outputs and all kinds of other options of how that can be connected. That's really what we're looking at doing, and it's been great. Again, fastest growing product category that we have at AtlasIED. Super excited about it.
That's pretty fantastic. So if they want to find out more about IPX, let's say that we can't make it to Barcelona, we can't make it to the show. Obviously, that's the best place to see it in action. But if we can't make it here, how can we find out more about AtlasIED?
AVNation.com. No, just kidding. No, AtlasIED.com. We've got great sections on the website. We also have Tech for Safer Schools website, which is dedicated towards education, which involves a lot of our technology, including IPX, or my entire team and myself. All of our contact information is on the website at AtlasIED.com.
Well, fantastic. If you want to find out more about Atlas, as they said, you can find it on their website, where you can find everything you need. If you want to find out more about our coverage of ISE 2023 here for AVNation, you can find it on our website at avnation.tv. This is Rich Fregosa, Uncle Richie, for avnation.tv.